the perfect gardener. He was the kind of man you couldn't help but love. An elderly gentleman with a majestic, dignified mane of silver hair and a perpetual, warm smile. His wrinkles weren't signs of age, but a map of a life well lived. In his neighborhood, and perhaps in the entire city, he was a legend. Not for wealth or status, but for his garden. His home featured a massive floor-to-ceiling bookshelf packed with nothing but volumes on flora. He lived a peaceful, content life, moving through his days with a quiet joy. But one morning, while raking dry leaves, he spotted something that didn't belong. Squinting, he stepped closer, his boots crunching on fallen twigs. He knelt with effort and saw it, a new plant emerging from the soil. It was nothing he had ever planted. In fact, it was nothing he had ever seen in all his years of study. It was a dark, tubular shoot poking through the grass. It looked unnervingly like a blackened human finger, tipped with a long, wooden claw. At the very top, a single, lonely leaf unfurled. Tied to the stem was a small note. "A special gift for someone who enjoys plants as much as I do," read the note. The old man beamed. What seemed mysterious suddenly felt like a beautiful gesture. Flattered, he took photos and posted them to his online gardening blog, writing in both Spanish and his fluent English, pleading for a clue. "What is this strange thing?" he asked the world. A Canadian hobbyist suggested it might be an exotic fungus hybrid that required deep shade. Taking the advice to heart, the old man built a small canopy over it. He pampered it, gave it the best nutrients, and watched in awe. Day by day, the stem grew longer and tougher. The single leaf multiplied into a lush cluster. Then a strange, hard fruit appeared. It looked like a petrified strawberry. As it grew, it became too heavy for the canopy, so the man removed the structure, terrified that he might accidentally kill this beautiful anomaly. Weeks passed. The strawberry swelled into something the size of a pineapple. It was dark, a muddy brown, and rough to the touch. It looked like a massive, organic cocoon. The stem had become thick and muscular to support the weight. That night, the old man followed his routine. He turned off the TV, curled up in bed, and drifted off to sleep. Just as he did, a sharp crack echoed from the garden, the sound of a massive eggshell splitting open. He heard it through the window, but exhaustion claimed him, and he stayed in bed. The next morning, his friendly smile vanished. The pineapple was shattered. The shards of the husk were scattered outward, meaning something had emerged from within. Trembling, he grabbed his camera and posted a frantic update. "What is happening? What was inside? I don't understand." The poor naive soul thought the creature was somewhere out in the neighborhood. He didn't realize it was already inside the house. It was closer than he could have ever imagined. That evening, he followed his routine once more. He didn't know he was being watched by a cold, alien intelligence. He turned off the light and lay in the dark. Then he heard it. Something was crawling, not on the floor, but on the ceiling. Suddenly, a weight dropped onto his chest. The man let out a soft groan, his hand shaking as he reached for the lamp. He prayed it was just a large insect. But when the light flickered on, he didn't scream, he began to weep. The thing was a nightmare of multiple limbs and an oversized, pulsing head. He lost consciousness. He woke up the next day at 3 p.m. His eyes were crusted shut, burning with a dry, stinging pain. His nose was blocked, his throat felt like it was filled with sand, and his bones ached as if they were made of lead. Every breath was a wet, rattling wheeze. His tongue felt like a dry wool sock in his mouth. He realized then what had happened. The creature had sedated him with a sting and crawled inside of him. He was a prison, in his own skin. He could move, he could walk, but he no longer held the wheel. His brain was functioning just enough to let him witness his own horror, but his humanity was gone. The last thing the old man remembered was a long, limping journey. He took that gift note he had saved so lovingly and tied it around his pinky finger. Driven by a will that wasn't his, he walked until he found another garden in a distant city. With his own hands, he dug a hole in the soft earth. He buried himself completely, disappearing beneath the soil, until only his blackened pinky finger remained above ground, holding the note for the next gardener to find.